Hello, my friends, and welcome to Youth Potential, a channel dedicated to helping young people with mental health problems. I have two books available, 102 Distraction Techniques and Self-Harm to Self-Harmony. Both of these books are only available on Amazon. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hello, my friend Scott here representing Youth Potential. So today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to live with and experience borderline personality disorder, also known as emotionally unstable personality disorder. And I've tasked myself with trying to redo some of my favourite older videos in less than 5 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you about some of the symptoms that I experience or have experienced. I've experienced most of the symptoms, but not all of them, but definitely the vast majority. So I'm going to just get on with it now and just tell you what it's like and what the symptoms are. So borderline personality disorder, emotions are very, very intense. And that can be positive or negative. You know, there's feeling shit, and then there's feeling really shit, and there's feeling really happy and excited, and then there's being obsessed and overly enthusiastic. And that's kind of what I experience the majority of the time. There's also impulsive behaviour. So personally, I find it really easy to spend money to make myself happy. So I've made the decision to let my mum look after my money. Obviously there can be the impulse to self-harm as well. There can be the impulse to do drugs. There can be the impulse to gamble. You know, there's lots of destructive, impulsive behaviours. And yeah, we just kind of rely on it to try and get that dopamine fix that our brain releases when we're after something. Unstable relationships is also another symptom. I haven't really experienced this too much over the last couple of years, because I'm fortunate enough that my partner also has BPD and we get along really well. But there are times where, and I'm not consciously deciding this, my brain will be like, oh my God, I'm obsessed at 1 minute, and then the next minute I'm just like, I want to be alone and I don't want to be around anyone. I don't want to engage with people. I don't want to speak to people. You know, isolation becomes like you just don't want to. You don't want a relationship with people because you're worried about upsetting them. You might say something. You might do something. They might do something. And I know some people with BPD can be slightly manipulative as well. Black and white thinking, that's another symptom that I definitely experience a lot of the time. So everything either is or isn't. It's very hard to find a middle ground, and you know, everything's either right or wrong. It is or it isn't, like I just said. There's no sort of gradient, there's no gradual about it. It's all just one thing or another. You know, a lot of people have said to me in the past, you know, you're all or nothing, and that's pretty much it. I'm either going to put my absolute 100% best into something, or I'm just not going to bother because I don't care. Self-harm and suicidal ideation and suicide attempts are very common. I myself, I haven't self-harmed for just over 16 weeks now, which is really good. But yeah, trust me, that's one of the worst addictions and symptoms of borderline personality disorder, just wanting to cut yourself up or burn yourself or whatever it is. Mood swings, this is probably the most common borderline personality disorder symptom. Yeah, just like that. My emotions can go from positive to negative, but at the same time they can also go from negative to positive. But yeah, just your perspective on things and the way you feel about things, they just change so quickly, you know. And one thing I don't deal with very well is disappointment. If someone told me that something's going to happen and it doesn't happen, I really struggle. I have to get someone to kind of like shake me about and go, look, it's okay, we can adapt to this. And finally, one of the last symptoms that I've experienced is hearing voices, which is also part of psychosis as well. Just, yeah, recently I've barely had any, thanks to the medication that I'm on. However, I think during this coronavirus situation, it has been a bit more difficult to block them out. But all in all, I have. Okay, so that's what it's like, well, from my perspective, living with borderline personality disorder. Obviously, if you want to search up the symptoms of borderline personality disorder, you can to get some more information. Well, oh God, that is it from me. So hopefully this is the first of many under 5-minute videos.